What is up guys, I'm Nightspeeds and welcome back to another video where we'll be talking about Session, the upcoming skateboarding game that just met their Kickstarter goal, or well, they actually did that like in the first couple of days, but they reached the goal by like 205%, so we can be looking forward to an amazing game. It's only going to be the kind of topic for this video because we'll be talking about another YouTuber who, I don't want to say he's been irritating me, but some of his content has really been annoying me, so we'll be digging into that with the main focus of it being on the Session game, but also a bit on Skate 4. So you probably already guessed this from the thumbnail or maybe even the title. I don't know what to call this video yet because it's kind of going to be an X7 Albert rant. First of all, I just want to say I have nothing against trick liners. One thing is that I don't have the online features in Skate 3, so I haven't experienced what other realistic players have been experiencing in lobbies, trying to do realistic tricks and then just getting overrun by trick liners. I can't speak for any of that, but if you decide to play a game a certain way that's fun for you, go do that. I have nothing against it. I just prefer myself to skate more realistically. But you guys may have heard of X7 Albert before, whether you're subscribed to him and enjoy his videos, or if you've seen some of the more shady things he's done. There'll be a link in the corner to an iDubbbz video from his series of Kickstarter crap projects where he's talking about Skate 4D. So that's one thing. I don't really want to go into detail with that, but another thing is just, you know, he's been slapping Skate 4 in so many of his videos titles just because he knows it will give views. One example could be when True Access, the game creators of the mobile game True Skate, they wanted to make a high-end skateboarding game. They wanted to make it for consoles and PC. They reached out to, I think, only me and X7 Albert at first, you know, some YouTubers who had made videos about True Skate big screen. But basically they never got a reply from him. They kept sending him the same stuff that they were sending me, and you know, I interviewed Ruben, the VP of marketing, talking about how the game would work, what would happen if they didn't meet the Kickstarter requirements and all of that. Of course he didn't reply, as I mentioned, but the whole Kickstarter also happened to go into April, so he pulled an April Fool's on his viewers. Skate 4 Elite gameplay, and then is, you know, footage from a True Skate big screen prototype. It didn't seem like in any way that he wanted to help promote this game properly or help them meet the Kickstarter goal or anything. Not even replying when a game development company reaches out to you seems very weird for me when you actually have a gaming channel where you mostly play skateboarding games. Another moment where he just wants to talk about an upcoming new skateboarding game, which is really a far-fetched because all he's doing is going to react to the Ubisoft game trailer for Steep.
Your reactions. If this is a new game, a new snowboarding game, then that means, it could mean, that we're getting closer to a new skateboarding game.
I don't see how that makes any sense other than you can be like, oh my god, a new skateboarding game will be coming out. Let's not talk any more about that. We will be talking about the Session related things now.
Being developed by some small development company.
So one thing is that X7 Albert, he knows that the creators of Session is an indie studio, a very small studio. And the next thing in that video is that he's extremely hyped for the game. He loves the lighting and the colors, and he says that it could replace what Skate 4 would have been.
Wow, I'm excited to see the actual game. Like, I want this game ready. I mean, this could be the Skate 4.
And if you go ahead and watch my video, there'll be a link in the corner. I talk about if this will be the Skate 4 for some people, and the answer is yes and no. For someone like me, it would be yes, but for someone like X7 Albert, I would certainly feel that it would be a no.
I like it. Freaking Session. Session, I guess that's the official name. Session, look at it. It's beautiful. Now imagine Session 1, 2, and 3.
I've mentioned this in another Session video, but the whole franchise Session 1, 2, and 3, they said in 2016, the start of the year, that this would never happen. It would be an ongoing game, a project that would keep expanding on. There wouldn't be a Session 2 and 3. The next video we'll be jumping into is, I think, his second video just talking and wondering about this project Session, what it will be like.
They're just, like, I guess fans of the Skate franchise trying to make a skateboarding game.
Now I guess you could say that they're fans of the Skate franchise, but deep down they're just skateboarders who's had big jobs in the gaming industry and now wants to do a skateboarding game. And they want to focus even more on skateboarding than the EA Skate franchise ever did. So kind of labeling them as, you know, fans of the Skate franchise is kind of saying, all of you guys, my audience, people who love Skate 3, these guys are part of us and they want to make a game for us. That's a lot of pressure to put on an indie studio, which he already explained that he knows they are. And they can't make a AAA game like EA.
They want to make it very, very realistic. Okay, very realistic as possible. And I think that's great.
When we get further into the video, you'll see that that is not true at all.
I mean, it's not saying that it's going to take away trick lining, because like I said, Skate 3 was meant to be as realistic as possible, but also, you know, they kind of catered to the arcade player styles.
Now there are certain tricks that are part of trick lining which I have no understanding of. It doesn't say anything to me and I don't know anything about it, but you know, let's just say that you could do all the things necessary for trick lining. Still, there's not going to be any points in the game. So I don't want to be bashing trick lining, but this is not going to be the same, and if you're only playing a game for trick lining, I would just stick to Skate 3 because Session won't do trick lining better.
You know, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a way for us to trick line.
At this point, you wouldn't even know how the game was going to play if these things were going to be possible.
EA is gonna see this, and who knows, they might buy them out. They might either buy them out, they might contact them to fund them even more. They might tell them, yo, we want to publish your game or something, you know, or they might actually be like, yo, let's make this Skate 4.
Another ridiculous thing to say, and I can't remember the exact phrasing, but in the interviews they have talked about how they've worked in the gaming industry before and how it feels great to be an indie studio and do their own thing, have power over the project.
There's a huge community that stands by this category and that has been begging for another installment ever since the fail of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 came out.
So another installment, I guess that would directly mean that he's talking about EA Skate. And this is not going to be Skate 4, it's going to be a completely different thing, and they have to do that as an indie studio, again, because they can't compete with anything EA could do. They have to go another different route and actually focus on, you know, smaller things and polishing that.
I like the fact that this game is being made by skateboarders, so let's shout out to you guys for that. But be very smart with this game, okay? Be aware of the market, the community that you're making this game for.
This kind of sounds like a threat, and it's really ridiculous because he's just putting it on them that they're making it for this community or this market. But really, they're deciding that. They've already decided they're making the game for skateboarders. Albert, you can't tell them what market they're making the game for. You don't decide that.
And remember, this is a game, a video game is meant to have fun. So hopefully they don't make it to the point where it's not gonna feel like a game. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can have fun.
What Albert says right here reminds me of some of the hate comments I get on my session videos, because it's just people saying, this is too realistic, it's not fun, it's supposed to be a game. Which is the most stupid thing I've ever heard, because, you know, there are companies out there that make simulators and there are people that enjoy playing them. A skateboarding simulator would be the best game for me. You know, the game I'd play the most, for sure, out of any games out there. So saying that there's nobody that would enjoy that, there's a lot of people like me that would enjoy it. This game is going to be made with a focus on certain things, and if you can't enjoy that, it's not a game for you. Now let's get into the actual gameplay of Session. This is the first time he's playing it.
Okay, we don't judge here, manga pusher. I'm not a manga pusher. He's telling me a manga push. Don't manga push. Don't push manga. Get yourself a t-shirt, xmnabber.com.
I don't know why a non-skater would focus so much on that and actually have merch saying don't push Mongo. That's crazy to me. He has no understanding for the skateboarding culture, and we'll get into that as the gameplay kind of unfolds here.
What the heck? How do I turn? I just tried turning with the left analog stick. Hold up.
Now this is the only point where I'm like, maybe he did read the interviews and he already determined at that point that he didn't agree with the way of controlling. So this whole, I just tried turning with the left analog stick and nothing happened, seems kind of fake to me. So maybe he has been reading the interviews.
I was not pressing the freaking right buttons. Alright. That's kind of weird though. I don't know how I feel about pressing the triggers to maneuver. It's kind of hard.
There's so much about the learning curve. That's the whole point of the game, to learn it. And if you're already like, this seems hard within the first 30 seconds, then I don't think it's a game for you, Albert.
Crank and then push up. What? Hold down the right stick to crank and then push up on the left stick. That's how you do ollies in session. That's how you do ollies in session. Pay attention, guys. Hold down the right stick to crank and then push up on the left stick. Is this? Hopefully they're not making this extremely unnecessarily hard.
It's not doing it extremely hard just to make it extremely hard. Things also have a purpose because you're controlling your back foot and your front foot. And the stick movements you do resemble real skateboarding. But someone like X7 Albert wouldn't understand that, because even though he's been playing a skateboarding game for so many years, it doesn't seem like he really understands the physics of skateboarding tricks or what the actual names are, which we'll get into.
Okay, I don't even know what the fuzzy that was. Yeah.
That was a 50-50 grind, like the most basic grind there is, and you don't know the name of it. Both trucks grinding, a 50-50 grind. Whew. I have to warn you before this next clip, because it's probably the most stupid thing he's gonna say in this video, and still every time I hear it I kind of get baffled at how could anyone say something like this?
My concern is, though, I'll tell you this right off the bat, all of us that obviously use controllers that have triggers, eventually we break our triggers. Like, maybe because we rage quit and we throw our controller and it lands on the trigger and then it kind of gets stuck or something, you know what I'm saying? Or even it gets kind of sticky to the point where it's not as, you know, loose or not as smooth.
If you don't want to learn a game, which is all about having to learn that game, and you get so frustrated that you throw your controller, that's one sign that shows you shouldn't be playing this game. But another thing is just that it may land on the triggers and destroy the triggers, which they could just as well land on the sticks. And an example I want to make is I have two Xbox One controllers. The triggers are great on both of them, but this stick right here, I haven't been rage quitting and throwing my controllers, just want to point that out, but this stick is turned all loose, and that would have been the steering button in Skate 3, and I actually think it came from Skate 3, so I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, any buttons on a controller can break. I don't think he edits his own videos anymore, but that is definitely a part I would have cut out, because it makes him seem like such a moron.
Big problem, because most games, it doesn't fully depend on triggers.
And here he has a channel where he's been playing a lot of first-person shooters, where you literally aim with the left trigger and you shoot with the right trigger. How are you going to play that game without the triggers?
But this game, it's definitely going to depend on triggers a lot. I understand the session, they're trying to make this game as realistic as possible, and that's freaking amazing, but I really hope they don't make it too hard. Like, I hope they're not trying to go too much out of the box with realistic. I hope they're not overthinking realistic.
So he's saying it's great they're focusing on the realistic part, but then again he hopes they're not really going to focus super hard on it. All of this makes no sense, because it is the point of the game. It's going to be hard to learn, just like actual skateboarding. But of course it doesn't resemble skateboarding in real life. That could take, you know, months to learn a kickflip. Here you can learn it within 30 seconds. If you want to do a frontside flip, well, there's a few more things to think about, but it's not going to take you hours.
A lot of people are going to be playing this game of different ages, different kinds of people, and like, some people don't have time to learn games, you know, they get frustrated really quick.
Then this game is not a game for those people. It's as simple as that. Some people enjoy RPGs, they should be playing RPGs. They shouldn't be playing racing games if they don't enjoy that. Or maybe they enjoy Mario Kart but don't enjoy Forza. I don't know, I think, you know, there's a lot of things to think about here. Maybe they can appreciate the other thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that.
And also, I feel like some of the tricks, or most of the tricks, might be very difficult for people to do, because it almost seems like you gotta use all the buttons to do a certain trick.
It's really not more than playing a first-person shooter. You walk around, you look around, you aim, you shoot, you throw a grenade, you throw some other stuff. You crouch, you run. Critiquing a game is fine, and you know, pointing out things to the developers that they can improve on, but this is just, it's all empty, it's nothing. Imagine doing a trick in Skate 3 where you turn in the air, you do a flip trick, you catch it in dark catch, you do a backflip. That's also a lot of buttons to be pressing. I just don't think this argument holds up at all.
Oh, I just did a pop shove it, I think. Okay, I don't know what the heck that trick was.
So these are just further proofs that he don't know anything about skateboarding, not even trick names, and that's crazy for a person who's been playing the games for so long, but I guess his focus haven't been on, you know, learning about skateboarding at all, because then he would know that the first trick was a frontside 360 pop shove it, and the second trick was a frontside 360 kickflip. Pretty basic things, but he has no knowledge whatsoever on what that was.
Oh, what was that? Like a 360 flip or something?
He does get a 360 flip right, but I think that is going to be the peak of his knowing the trick names in this playthrough.
Anyways, I'm trying to... Okay, what was that? I think it was another pop shove it.
So yeah, he just mixed up a laser flip with a pop shove it. I guess that proves my point, doesn't it?
And then I... Oh! What was that? Okay, hold up.
That was a 360 pop shove it, and we may even add backside to it because you did the frontside version earlier. Now you know.
So what I did there is I hold everything down. So I flicked this up and then wait. Ready? Up. Okay. I don't know what that was.
Something he could just do is open the pause menu and open the trick book. If that's how he wants to learn the game, fair enough, but I just think he's falsely portraying the game as, you know, like you have to press a button for each muscle you have to use in your leg.
Set, flick. Okay. So what I did there is that my right analog stick, I flicked it straight up, and then the left analog stick, I flicked it to the top right corner. That did that trick, whatever that was.
That trick right there was a laser flip, so what you have to do for that is actually combine the frontside 360 pop shove it. That means your scooping foot, in this case the back foot, has to go in half a circular motion, and then your front foot or the flicking foot has to do a heel flip, so that's flicking out to the heel side of the board. Combining those things, that results in a laser flip.
Manual, bro. There you go. And then flick. Okay, that's a manual to a kickflip, I believe.
A kickflip is when you kick out with your toes. Here he kicks out with the heel. And the weird thing for me is that this happens a little after that.
Nose manual and flick the right analog stick. Okay, that's a heel flip.
Here he did a nose manual nollie flip out, and he calls that a heel flip. It's like he's mixing everything up, and it's really not that hard. And it especially shouldn't be that hard if you've been playing Skate 3 for so many years.
And then boop. Okay, I don't know what that trick was.
Oh my god, it's almost the same thing this time. Assuming he's regular footed, it's just a fake manual kickflip out instead of a nose manual nollie flip out. It's
So let's do it again. And then with the right analog stick in a circle. Okay.
He has no idea what he's doing in this game.
To the side. Oh, what the heck was on my nose? That was a different trick.
A different trick, that was the only one he got right to begin with. It was a tray flip.
And some people were saying that the only reason I said that I don't like it is probably because I can't trick line on it. And I need to clear something up, okay? If you guys seriously think that's the reason, then I can honestly say that you have no idea what trick lining really is.
You know, just focusing on that it's not trick lining, it's not that. I just think people are implying that you're just angry because you can't play it like you play Skate 3. And it also sounds kind of like a defeat from the earlier video where he's talking about,
you know, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a way for us to trick line. And if you guys want to see me play this prototype demo even more, let me know in the comment section down below.
Let me just say, Albert, I'm not going to comment this on your video, but I don't want to see you play this game anytime soon again. Maybe you should try to get a bigger understanding of what skateboarding is, how skateboarding tricks work, and then maybe just play the game for fun. Actually try to look at the tricks, how you do them, and, you know, I don't know, watch some skate videos, get inspired to do, oh, I want to do that trick. Chris Cole's opener, falling right in the sky. I think it was a back 180 nose grind, switch big heel out. Try to learn that trick in session. So that's my only little advice. I just want to say I don't know X7 Albert in person. He's probably a great guy, but these are just a few of the problems I've had with his content lately. I don't want to bash the guy, I want to put this out there so that he can improve. I just had enough with this whole session thing, because one thing I haven't mentioned as well is that he haven't linked their Kickstarter link in, you know, either of his session videos. That's one of the things I appreciate about the Jacksepticeye video, even though he also blatantly clickbaits with the Skate 4 demo or whatever they call it. But he's actually backed the project and he encourages people to do that as well and tells them that they can try the demo for free. You know, props to him, that was really nice of him, but what X7 Albert has done is just, I don't think it's acceptable as a skateboard gaming YouTuber, or, you know, a gaming skate YouTuber, I don't know. I've been talking for way too long, just rambling, so if you made it this far, thank you. If you enjoyed the video, maybe agree with me on some of the points, or you have something to say, give it a like, put it down there in the comment section below, and remember to subscribe, of course, hit the bell to stay notified for future uploads here on my channel, and then thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!